Rick Ross may be a famous rapper worth a sizable fortune, but his car collection is possibly even more impressive, with over 100 fine rides in his garage. Ross has become low-key famous for his car collection, and it's not hard to see why. With over 100 cars, ranging from super sports cars to the absolutely ridiculous over-the-top rides, he's really cultivating a legendary reputation in the car world. Not only that, but he knows how to advertise them. He is always lining them up and showing them off in his Instagram, where he highlights them like they're his own museum pieces. I mean, you would too if you had a $5.8 million mansion that you could stretch them across. His collection alone is an investment that could carry him through if his career ever flatlines for good. It's been estimated that the entire thing is worth over $3.5 million, though frankly, I'd say that the collection is being undervalued. I kinda think the collection has gotta be worth at least $5 mil. Let me tell you what all's in there, and you can make the judgment for yourself. With so many rides to get through, let's separate them out into tiers, shall we? First up, we have the God tier cars. You know, the ones only awesome celebrities worth millions and millions of dollars could afford. Seeing how Ross is worth well over $45 million over a career that spans since the late 90s, I'd say he definitely qualifies. His top of the top car is his gorgeous Lamborghini Murcielago. It can hit 214 miles per hour with a 0 to 60 time of 3.8 seconds. Though that's not what this one is all about. Just look at how elegant this ride is. Frankly, I'd be terrified to ever drive it in fear of getting so much as a scratch. Well, that and the fact that it's worth around $486,000. Also in the Lambo Club is one of my personal favorites, his Lamborghini Urus. This one is a little slower with a 190 miles per hour top speed and has a slightly faster acceleration time of 3.1 seconds. It's also considerably cheaper at $230,000, while not being considerably lighter on the elegance. Honestly, this one may be the better deal between the two. He's also got a pair of Rolls-Royce classics that you probably could guess if you follow this channel enough. If celebs nowadays are going to have a Rolls-Royce, chances are they will be either the Rolls-Royce Phantom, worth $460,000, or the Rolls-Royce Wraith, worth $344,000. Neither one can hit 200 miles per hour, but you don't get these cars for speed. You get them for making entrances like, yeah, I got a Rolls Royce. If you don't have a Rolls Royce, but you want a car that comes packing with just as much elegance, the smart buy is a Bentley. He's got a Bentley Continental Supersport that actually can hit 209 miles per hour with a 0 to 60 time of 3.4 seconds and a price of $322,000. Not bad at all. Then we've got the Mercedes, and the Mercedes. He's got a Mercedes Maybach that can run 155 miles per hour with an acceleration time of 4.8 seconds and a reported price of $430,000. Then there's his Benz S650 Cabriolet, which runs at 155 miles an hour, 3.9 second acceleration, and a $357,000 price tag. Finally, he's got a Mercedes-Benz G63 AMG that hits 130 miles per hour, 3.9 second acceleration, and is worth $160,000. You know this man has some serious rides when his AMG is the least impressive of the three. Next we've got the Ferraris. He's got a Ferrari 488 Spider, which flies at 203 miles per hour, can 0 to 60 in 3 seconds flat, and is worth $280,000. Then he's got a Ferrari 458 Italia, which hits 202 miles per hour, does 0 to 60 in 3 seconds flat as well, and runs about $239,000. Honestly, I'd race these babies Fast and Furious style all the time. Finally, on his God tier list, there's a BMW. his BMW 760 Li hits 180 miles per hour with an acceleration of 4.1 seconds and a price of $157,000. While he may not have something like a $2 million Bugatti Veyron Sang Noir, the fact that he's got all of these cars together is just incredible. This is a fine collection of top-of-the-line rides, and they're just a drop in the bucket. Next up, we have what I'm calling the luxury tier. These are the cars that are still glamorous, expensive, comfortable, fast, and once again expensive, but not quite as insane as those previously listed. You know, the ones even a normal celebrity could purchase without necessarily breaking the bank. First, we've got his Bentley Brooklyn's worth $35,850 with a 0 to 60 miles per hour acceleration time of 5.3 seconds and a top speed of 183 miles per hour. Next is yet another Mercedes with his Mercedes-Benz CLS that runs $72,950 with a top speed of 130 miles per hour and an acceleration time of 4.6 seconds. Then we've got my two faves of this tier. That would be his elegant Fisker Karma that speeds at 125 miles per hour with a 4.5 second acceleration and a price of $95,700. Finally, I always love a good Tesla. His is a Tesla Model 3 with a 140 miles per hour top speed, a 3.1 second acceleration, a 315 mile range, all with a price tag of $95,700. Honestly, where does Rick Ross even find the time to buy all these cars? You think he's got a car buying guy? A dealership assistant? Can I apply? For a true enthusiast like Rick Ross, you've got to have a few cars that are a part of history, right? I'm talking about those classic rides. While some people love to buy classic sports cars like Lambos or Ferraris, Rick Ross is much more interested in classic Americana. Specifically, he loves a classic Chevy that looks so American it should come with an ice-cold glass bottle of Coke. He is a huge fan of the Chevrolet Bel-Air. He has several that are in pristine condition. Obviously, this is a real passion of his, as they are all matching. Each is that classic powder blue color that is just ideal for this particular ride. Not only that, but they go with one of his other favorite brands. He's known for posting bottles of Luc Belaire Blue right next to them as the perfect bottle service for these rides. It's no surprise that he at least has one for his classic Chevys, considering how much time and money he's put into them. He's got ones from the Bel-Air line that go from 1955 to 1957. It's not uncommon for him to line them up sort of like museum pieces for the evolution of classic Chevys. Each of them could run around $70,000. If you get ones that are in incredible condition, like better than if you got in a time machine and picked them up from the 50s, they can go for upwards of $100,000. As nice as his are, I think it's a distinct possibility that he spent like $300,000 on these rides. Next, we've got his truck tier. Well, his first big truck was a solid contender for the God tier for me, mostly because it was a favorite of mine as a kid. That would be his spotless Hummer H2. This hulk of a ride runs $447,000. It also gets about 93 miles per hour with a 0 to 60 time of over 10 seconds. But you definitely don't buy these for the speed. You buy them because they look awesome, which is great because due to gas prices right now, I bet this car is 100% not worth it to actually hit the road. For Rick Ross, an H2 isn't even his biggest car. Just take a look at his 6-wheeled Chevy Behemoth. That would be his Chevrolet 6x6 Silverado. His truly ridiculous ride is worth $375,000. Though for the fun he's having with it, it truly seems priceless. While those other trucks might be sizable, he actually has purchased a legit monster truck. That would be the Aces High. So how much is a legitimate monster truck? Well, the Aces High monster truck goes for a surprisingly affordable $59,000. So we've seen stars like Jay Leno and Jerry Seinfeld get shows where they show off their favorite rides, but where's Rick Ross's Netflix? That would be a hit, no problem.